Hello? Guten Abend, wie geht's es dir? How you guys doing? Good? I hope so. I guess still kind of working on this dude being a little bit lazy about it. Um, I don't know if you guys have seen, I've made some updates to the hands and such. If anyone's actually really into it, let me know if you guys can hear me okay, and maybe I'm coming off too loud, or if there's a lot of distortion. I'll see if I can get that fixed for you. My wife's watching Hardcore Pawn in the front room, so if you guys start hearing that, I'm sorry. Alright. I guess it's time to get back to work. With me as always, the lovely Breckenridge Brewery. Delicious beer. Yum. Vanilla porter. For the gentleman. Just pull one out. Bam. And we just start shaping it out. Oh, yeah. A little bit better for you? So what's everyone up to tonight out there? I suppose just you. I think the other one is me. I just keep looking at it. It's kind of weird. Watching myself work. Home from work. Wife's cooking dinner. Lucky. You know what I had for dinner tonight? I had leftover burritos. I mean, they were still really good, but nothing fresh. Which, yeah. Well, I mean, I live in Colorado, so Mexican food's kind of built in. Had some green chili on it. It's good. Really good. I'm just, pulling up my reference over here on the other side. It's always good to have reference. No problem. I know. It's Greg, man. What's up, Greg? What's up, my brother? Watching me do some sculpting, huh? I'm sorry. You've watched enough of this hell. As you can plainly see, I have no idea what I'm doing. So when are you gonna get back up and running, Greg? Get your computer and shit going. So me and you can Google Plus again. How's New York been, Greg? Good? Treating you nice? Are they good people at your job? Do they like your buns? Also, you were right, Greg. I'm drinking again. Who else we got in the house tonight? Now, I really plan on detailing the whole body and this kind of old, saggy, wrinkly skin texture here. I'm pretty happy with the face right now, so I'm not detailing it any further. So that's that. Looks like I moved the body somehow, though, which is interesting. That seems about right. Yeah, oh well. Not a big deal. I'm gonna throw down a bit of music here. Try and keep it on the low end though for you guys. I don't want you having to jam out to death metal like I do. Not everyone enjoys it as much as I do. Let me know if this music gets a bit much for you. It tends to help me work a little bit better, but if it's bugging you guys, let me know and I'll see if I can throw on something a little more relaxing. I guess for this guy, I'm not necessarily going super ripped. I guess that's not my ultimate goal. I definitely want it to be more on the thin side, though. It's definitely important, I think, for me on this character is to have him stout, you know, thick muscles and kind of large hands with kind of shorter fingers. I think this will work out really nice when I'm done. When I actually finish sculpting the hands. One thing that I've kind of learned while sculpting and studying anatomy is you want to put your nipples about 45 degrees from the collarbone. That's when you tend to get the most natural fall off. Even with women, no woman's nipples are, you know, right here. That's just not how it works. They definitely fall off. I've really got a hard kind of line right here that I might just buff out a little bit. We've all been there, man. Yeah. I love this. In case you're unfamiliar, the band that's playing right now, if you can hear it, is Death. Not the 70s punk group, the 80s death metal group. Kind of the forerunners, the fathers of death metal. Let's slow it down a bit here. Here we go. Some anthrax. Right now I'm just kind of dilly-dallying. I shouldn't be. I don't want to sculpt the hands or the feet. I don't really want to go into the body too much right now, detailing wise. So I think I'm just gonna have to suck it up and go right at these hands here. There we are. Probably actually just hide all of that. And something you'll kind of notice, you know, if this is your first time watching me sculpt, I don't really have that great of a workflow. I come in, I build in, or I sculpt out, and then I smooth it, and then I come back in and do it again and again and again, and it kind of gives me a lot of subtlety that I prefer. On a personal note, I prefer it. Does not mean that it's at all the best. Probably far from it, but I really like the subtle look for my own personal work. Alright, now I'm thinking that maybe this thumb is a little bit high. You know, usually your thumb will come just below that first knuckle on your index. And this, of course, is just the average, what usually happens. You can easily change that for any character. I just tend to start off with that, with what I know is at least somewhat anatomically correct, and then kind of moving on from there. Another kind of important thing to notice about fingers is the joints. Whenever you look at fingers, the bottom joint should actually come at an angle. The middle joint will be straight, and this third knuckle here will actually come back in, pointing towards the hand. It's kind of weird how you'll see that, but it's really something that helped me, once I realized it, how important those angles are to the hand, to making the fingers look realistic, to making them look normal. You know, I just have some really basic block out here on the fingers. And here's just a shot of kind of how I polygroup the hands, just for quick selection, sculpting and stuff. I usually have those set up in the face as well, where I can block out the bottom lip, or I can block out the rings around the eyes here, and the different eyelids, and the same for the ear. I just haven't really set it up here, because I went through and just sculpted the face and called it good. Just going to kind of work with one finger at a time here, just shaping it. Yeah, it's definitely boring watching someone sculpt all the time. Now I see why in any tutorial they just kind of they go, hey, here's what I'm doing, and they skip ahead. Yeah, you know, things like that I've just learned while I've been doing this stuff. It's not anything that's really often in your face, you know. You don't always look at your fingers and say, oh, the knuckles are coming at these angles. Most people don't see that, and it's just because we don't stare at it, but we know our hands don't look right when we're sculpting them. Or some people know that they don't look right. I very rarely know they don't look right until someone says, dude, that hand sucks. But, you know, I'm glad to share any of the tips that I do manage to spit out here. Gotta share the knowledge, man. It's no fun when you don't get to tell anybody what you learned. And I switch between brushes and matte caps a lot, just getting shapes. I like to change my matte caps because it actually allows me to see things that I maybe didn't before. You know, just from the lighting you can tell from this one to this one, shape changes when the lighting changes. Something I spend a lot of time doing, just looking. Actually, I don't know why I did that. Flatten that out. I don't know, for now I'm just kind of going with your regular human hand deal. I plan on adding in a bit more of the claw type hand for the standard Goblin look, but I think having a normal looking hand is just a good base to build off of. Also putting in a lot of detail that I'm definitely not going to see later on. I do plan on baking this out for game engines. I think I'm going to put it in the CryEngine as I kind of work through this bit here, and I'm going to try and record the whole process to make it easier for you know, anyone watching. Hey, I don't know how to use CryEngine. I know how to use a little bit of CryEngine. So I'm definitely going to throw that in here. Maybe that'll help out a few people. They'll be like, oh man, I was so intimidated, but you made it look so easy, because it really is. And I'll be like, yeah, you know, cool. And the thing that's kind of weird with fingers, especially this kind of second phalange is it actually buckles in the middle, which is really strange. I have no idea why I'm sculpting this stuff in, because it's not going to show up. But, you know, while I'm here, might as well get the practice I can. And hopefully you'll stick with me at least through the game res part. We'll get it in engine eventually. I'd like to have this completed this weekend. I think I'm going to take some time this weekend and really try to push it. Push myself, do some late night streams and all that jazz. See if I can't get it done. Get some information out there for you people really fast, instead of being the usual lazy bum I am. Sitting at home, drinking beer, playing video games, laughing at my kids when they fall. You know, jerk stuff. And one thing that's really important to note about hands is it is definitely okay if they are not symmetrical. You know, if the finger doesn't look the same on both sides. Because if you look at your own finger, it's definitely not going to look like that. It's, at least mine aren't. Maybe I just have really jacked up hands. But they're going to be crooked. Yeah, I think that looks like a decent finger for now. Something I can use a little bit later when I actually beef these things out. Really go in and sculpt in all that pretty detail. Get a little bit of that pucker going on. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, you know, feel free to throw it in the chat. If you end up watching this later on, which I know some people were planning to do, you probably see me on Twitter, shoot me something on there, or, you know, if you got my email or whatever, you know, feel free to hit me up. I'm a pretty open dude, and, you know, I like to chat with people. Sometimes it gets a bit boring, just doing this all by yourself. So it's nice to have someone say, hey, how did you do this, or why are you making that this way, or why are you stupid? Although the latter's not as nice. Still acceptable though. Let's see what's going on here in the world today. You know, I read a really interesting article about kind of that mental... Oh, snap. What's up, Souls Bunny? That's my boy. Well, thanks for stopping in and saying hi, bro. You've met your Twitter obligation. Nice. Rocking a little time lapse. Very cool. Can't wait to see what it comes out like. I don't see enough for your personal work. Alright, this stuff's making me a bit sleepy. I'm gonna have to change up the music here. Let's see, what's gonna be going? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So you can you talk about the time lapse, or is it too early to tell what you're making? Because if you've ever watched my time lapses, I usually have no idea what I'm doing until I'm there. Yeah, I know that all too well. Hey man, sometimes you just gotta get in there and just kill some digital clay. Ooh, yeah, that's right. You caught the child plague. I've been trying to stay away from that as much as possible. Honey, I know you go to school, but don't come home and kiss Daddy with all those sick kids around you. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I want to be able to go to work tomorrow. Although, you know, sometimes you don't want to go to work. Oh yeah, he got a cold rocking it, or maybe something a little worse, maybe some flu. With all that wet nastiness in the back. Good times. Those are my favorite kinds of colds. Ones that just sit in your lungs and you hack, and all that beautiful yellow stuff comes up. Oh, nasty. Yeah, my oldest is like that. Um, it's a horrible nightmare. But my youngest, she is a pro. She blows her nose like a little champ. And I'm so grateful for it. Goddamn children. How old's your son? 3 in January. Yeah, so he's still pretty young. My youngest just turned 4 in August. Daughter 1 in November. Beautiful, man. You got a daughter? I gotta say, I never wanted to have girls, but I've got my 2 and I would not trade them for the world. They're precious. And then, oh, I take my oldest to school. And I just see all those boys there, and I'm like, God damn, they're so stupid. I hate them. It's like when I want to play Play-Doh with my kids or something, it's like, oh man, let's play Play-Doh. And they're like, yeah, let's build cows and stuff. Not let's throw it at Daddy's face and see if we can light him on fire. Yeah, that's what little girls, they just sit, relax. You're like, you're awesome. Then you tell them, you're like, who's beautiful? You're beautiful. And then they smile, like, I bet your son's a little handful. Probably gets it from you. It's just a guess. But I wouldn't say I'm too far off on that guess either. Nice. Like father, like son. Hours wise, maybe like 5 serious hours. Every now and then I'll just come home, I'll just start at my computer and sit here and draw a line or 2 and then erase it and then just walk away. But I'd say actually sitting down, I don't know, probably around 5 or so. Because I think the time lapse that I had done, that I posted on Twitter, was about 3 hours of work. And then I did another hour or so after that of just me doing whatever the hell I was doing to it. Adjusting the pants, I guess. Oh man, glad you're digging it. You know, need more portfolio pieces that look awesome, so hopefully this guy will make a nice addition to my portfolio. Help me grab a gerb in a studio. Oh, nice. I'm glad you dug that. I'm gonna work that one a little bit more too. Oh man, yeah, super appreciate that. Just got an email today from Telltale. gonna have an art test from them, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, those hands are looking a little more finished. I did. I absolutely loved The Walking Dead. I thought it was fantastic. Far better than that horrible TV show. Yes. I really don't get the hype. I mean, I came from reading the comics, the Walking Dead comics, which were godly. Those comics were so good. And then when I saw the TV show, I was like, I'll reserve judgment until I actually see it. And then I watched the first season and cried deeply. I'm just a real sensitive guy, you know, and bad things make me sad. Yeah, I agree. You know what is really awesome, though? At least a show that I've really enjoyed. Being Puppy Cat. And yes, the effects on that are fantastic. They've got some of the best makeup artists I've ever seen. I think if I ever needed to make a zombie character, I would just take screenshots of that show. I think if I was cool enough, I would have abandoned this dream of making video games and become a practical effects artist. But I'm not that cool. I watch Face Off with my kids, and they've had massive revelations on monster movies now. So now they just tell me like, holy shit, Dad, you're fucking lying. That's not a real monster. I'm like, no, it's real. Be scared, because I'm going to use it later. Like, you fucking asshole old man. And Groove Shark is on a Opeth kick right now. She's like, we're gonna play every Opeth song ever. Oh snap, there are 5 people in here. So one of them's me. Means there are more people. Who else is there? Don't be shy. Holla at your boy. Yeah, sculpting hands are the worst. I've pretty much been putting those off on this entire character this entire time. So I'm just noodling on them, I guess, for now. And then I'll push them back. Push back in. Have fun blocking out those hands. Remember, if you procrastinate, it might get done. I'm kind of the last one to talk though, because I am one of the worst procrastinators. It's like, oh man, is dinner really that important? Oh, hey, your kids are hungry. No, maybe it is. You guys can't eat tomorrow? Which, of course, their answer is always, no, I can't eat tomorrow. We have a lot of breakfast for dinner here, because I really enjoy cereal. You know, I don't care what they say. I like cereal. I buy all kinds of cereal too. You know, I'm getting Life, Love Life cereal, one of my favorites. But Life, I've got Honeycombs, Cheerios, Frosted Flakes. And of course the list goes on. Yeah, they're good from time to time. Throw down some Frosted Flakes. You're like, yeah, pure sugar on these little tiny corn chips. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now you're talking. I better save before I forget. You know which one I never thought I'd like? Cracklin' Oat Bran. I never thought I'd like it. I have them recording directly here, and then I have them set to export to YouTube. So I'm hoping that works. We'll see. And yeah, the Krusty Brownos, because they are actually the bomb. Those things are fucking fantastic. Good God, I think that was just a bad idea. They do look like troll assholes. Oh, that's fantastic. What a great way to put that. God damn it, I can never get this right. Yeah, I haven't drank enough of it, maybe. Maybe I drank too much of it, who knows? I don't know if any of you out there in Twitch land are beer drinkers, but I am having an absolutely delicious vanilla porter, locally brewed here in Colorado. It's called Breckenridge Brewery, and it is magic. Just in case you were wondering what I'm chugging down, that's what it happens to be. There's this guy. Things I use a lot too are solo mode. Use that a lot. Ooh, diet barbecue. Warm even. I don't know why I said barbecue. I meant root beer. I have no idea why I said barbecue. No, I'm out of it. I don't even know why you'd be drinking diet barbecue. Like, you would just have this bottle of barbecue sauce sitting next to your desk. Like, oh, I'm really craving some Southern style barbecue sauce. Oh, Christ almighty, what happened here? You know what, actually, I think I might be able to morph this back in here. Oh, I know I stored a morph target. I swear I did. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, if you're just straight drinking barbecue sauce, it might be time to rethink your life, or at least sections of it. From Denver, oh man, 20 minutes on traffic. I can make it out there in no time. Actually, used to work down in Denver. Oh yeah, yeah, I know Kedron and all those guys down there at Delphonic. Been to a few of their parties too. God damn, they get drunk. It's a good time though. I gotta say that it is always fun going over there and having drinks. Also, I want to thank all of you people watching. It makes me feel less weird when I have people actually watching while I'm streaming. When there's nobody there. Instead of a guy talking to yourself about your process. That can be a little weird. Yeah, man, I mean, I figure I might as well. Because either someone's going to tell me how to do it better, or maybe someone learns something from it. I'd rather the latter happen, someone learn, but hey, you know, if I get better at my craft because someone's like, oh, dude, this is crazy. Yeah, seriously. Sometimes it's hard to break out of that shell, especially for a lot of artists, because of that that fear of getting criticized and like, oh, you suck, and especially since some communities can be really fucking terrible about it. I mean, there's a lot of places I just don't post anything because I don't want to hear people complaining about every little thing, but not offering any actual critique or advice or referencing a tutorial for me to check out, like, yeah, learn some shit from this dude because he's the bomb. And there are definitely the exceptions. I think Polycount's one of them. You know, I'll represent Polycount my whole life. I think they're the best. Just from that standpoint of every person I've met from Polycount is about learning and teaching and sharing information, and for me that's really important. I'll be right back, because I need a beer. Another one. If I can find space for this one on my empty wall. I'll pause the music for a bit so you don't have to listen to some Gojira. Oh, woman, I need another beer. All right, creative juice is a go. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Is I think I'm gonna save this guy. beat them down a bit. I'm just going to export this little base here. As you can see, my beautiful desktop organized so perfectly with a rotating background for constant inspiration. Seems like Modo's being a bit sluggish today. It's actually pretty far off from 0. But I'm not worried about that. I'll fix that later. I'll fix it in post. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of build out like a pauldron, maybe some arm pieces, armor type stuff. Let me just actually open up my reference here. I love Modo, personally. I think it is, bar none, the best modeling program out there. For pretty much everything. The only things I can't really do in it are going to be like, nope, I can do everything. There are some things I prefer to do, like bake maps and like X normal. But I love the rendering. The rigging in it is absolutely fantastic. So it's pretty good. The interwrapping's really nice too. So I tend to stick with it, at least for now. We'll see if I change my mind, maybe go to Rhino or something like that. Yeah, I plan on rigging it out. The rigging tools are really fantastic because it kind of has its own auto rig thing that I have. It's called ACS, the character system, and it kind of builds a base rig for you, and then all you're doing is painting rough weights. And its automatic weighting system is really good. You know, if you build out a bone system, you throw, it's called heat. It'll do a really nice blend of weights based off of where you're putting the bones, and I forget what they actually call them in here. They're not bones, they're joints or something like that, but based on where you actually put those connections, really works well. I plan on streaming that too, and recording it and putting that up. Hopefully I'll have the whole series for this guy on YouTube or something like that so people can watch and download piecemeal or whatever. And then maybe I can even put the model up for educational purposes, of course. I don't want people ripping off my work and be like, I put in my game. I'm like, no, that's not okay. And Modo has kind of a weird setup. A lot of people probably wouldn't be used to, where it uses mesh items. So you kind of always have this outliner up here. I like it a lot personally, because it keeps me from clicking on other meshes and doing crazy, foolish things like that. Yeah, I was actually like that, where I was so stuck in max that I just gave up. You know, I just had to stop myself, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And I took about 2 weeks. I just learned the software. Then I started making cheap little things in there, like belts and things of the like. And ever since then, I was just blown away by how smooth the modeling can really be, especially once you get set in a workflow. I haven't gone back. And when I do, occasionally I will go back to max to do something like dealing with CryEngine. I'm gonna have to get this guy back into max because it just doesn't work with Modo. They don't have the tools, the exporter, things like that. They aren't 100% there yet. So I have to move things over there to get everything exported and sync the materials and all that jazz. But it was definitely worth it. You know, I should probably first think of an idea of what I want this pauldron to look like before I just start making stuff. But hindsight's 20/20, right? Alright, man. I'll catch you later. You know, hopefully I can start doing this early every now and then, maybe on the weekends or something, so people aren't up till the butt crack of dawn. No problem, man. Good talking to you. I'll catch you on the flip side. Adios, muchacho. Apparently I have some bad polygons. Yep, all better. think that was a really good design, personally. What's up, Kevin? Smart ass. Yeah, I don't think... I think I might just go back to sculpting for a bit. I am not sure where I want to go with the pauldron yet, or even what the design really would be at the point. So I'm going to think about it for a bit. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that? If not, that's cool. Or maybe I'll just come in here and do the feet for a bit. Oop. Play around with some toes. And the brush I'm using right now is the Move Topological brush. If you don't use it, I really suggest you give it a shot because it works absolutely wonderful along these kind of tight spaces here where you might usually end up grabbing, 2 or 3 different loops, or you've got kind of digits right next to each other. This really helps out, and it still has a little bit of an effect just because of how I have it set. I don't have it set where its tolerance is to 0 and it's absolute, and it won't grab anything near it. Something important to discuss is you can set it that way. You can set it to where it will not grab anything that doesn't follow the topology of whatever you're currently working on. And I really do need to work on these feet, because I'm definitely going to leave this dude without shoes. I want him to be barefoot, badass, with like bombs strapped to his chest and his back, ready to fuck shit up. That kind of stuff. Also, I do apologize if I seem to curse a lot, because I do. I have no qualms with cursing, and you know, I hope it doesn't offend anyone. I'm just trying to soften up all these hard edges. What I tend to do within my own personal work, really with any work I'm doing, is I'll get the base mesh looking the way I want it to, you know, with really low subdivision and sculpt and move everything around, blah blah blah. And I'll do it at a really low subdivision, and then I come in and I just divide it like crazy so it's to a really high subdivision, but I keep the smooth off, so as it divides you still get those nice faceted edges. And I like to do that personally because it still gives me the shape I'm looking for. Like, I can still see that initial block out that I had created, and then I'm just refining the form, if that makes any sense. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to look at my own feet to get, you know, some reference. And like I said earlier, for those of you who are new, if there are any, I'm really trying to make it look initially as human as possible with the hands and the feet at this point. And then once I have the shape, things look right, then I can actually begin to exaggerate and sculpt that crazy detail. I definitely don't have that ability like some people where they can go in and just make something look awesome. I really have a process that I have to work through in order to make things come out a certain way. And right here, I'm just trying to get the initial shape of the toes. That pinky toe's always an ugly toe too. And what you'll probably see me do a little bit later is I'll end up using like the clip curve brush or something like that, and I'm actually gonna clip the bottom of the foot. I'm gonna flatten out completely, and then I'll go in and I'll actually pull out the proper shapes on the foot to make it look right. But I'm gonna set it all essentially to 0, if you will, and then build it back up. don't know about anyone else's toes, but mine tend to curve towards one direction and not the band. But usually inwards. And from the toes that I've seen, you know, doing sketches or anatomy studies, they all tend to follow that same pattern where they're all curving in one direction. They're all moving in synchronization towards one specific point, which is that big toe, like he's the king or something, because he thinks he's so damn cool, because he's the big fat toe on the block, like he can do whatever he wants. He gets put in his place though occasionally, when you stub him on a wall or something like that. That's how you show him who's boss. And I'll pull everything more even as I actually work with the feet. Anyone out there working on anything tonight? Throw up a link. I'd love to check it out, see what everyone's up to. And I do a lot of Google Hangouts as well. I'm not always working as hard in those ones, but you know, if you want to add me on Google Plus or something like that, see me on a hangout or something, feel free to hop in and say hi, or you suck, or man, peanut butter's really good, gave it to my dog, whatever. Basic shape of them toes. Yeah, girl. Kind of wanted this dude to have like giant, crazy feet. Uh-oh, more Swedish coming up. Definitely gonna beef up those toes by the end. And for now, though, I think that silhouette's reading fairly well. Yeah, it's definitely going to change up quite a bit by the time I'm done, you know, adding the pauldron and things like that, but we'll see for sure. Hopefully you guys can stick around with me through the whole process. If not, I'll have it recorded. And one thing I think is a little too small is actually the hands. I think I'm going to resize those here. And if you're wondering, I'm just hitting V to go into that silhouette mode, which seems to have broken all of a sudden. Oh well. I think that looks pretty nice. Yeah, it's looking nice. Silly drop box. Let me see if I can crank that. You guys able to hear me a little bit better? Might be coming a little low for some people. If so, give me a shout. Or you know, feverishly type into that chat box. Yo, I'm hearing you pretty well now. Regardless. And I like to switch between perspective and orthogonal. Hitting P. It helps me really develop a good face, because if it works in ZBrush's manky, weird, you know, perspective, then it'll probably work in any engine and look just as good. There's definitely been a few things that I've created where, you know, orthogonally it looked fantastic, and then you throw that perspective on it, it just jacked it up. And I don't even know if that's technically orthogonal. Recurring theme of mine. Build it up, knock it down. Build it up, knock it down. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, feel free to. Twitter name is @DonovanYoung3D. I love having new followers. You guys can talk to me about the boring days that I have doing stuff. And we can just be generally awesome together. Also, you can throw any questions my way through that particular medium. I'm not always available when I say email or something like that. At Twitter, pretty much hear from me almost always. I just want to push this silhouette a bit more. Not that he needs to have super juicy buns, but I think having a more interesting rhythm will really pay off in the long run. And I'm not really worried about going into detailing on the legs currently, because he's going to be wearing pants. Yes. Thank you, Kevin, for putting that there in the chat. You can click that link and follow me and keep up to date with all my super awesome speed sculpts that I don't stream. Or talk to me about beer. Always a fan of talking about that stuff. Yeah, I'm just working in a little bit of the fat that usually accumulates around the knee. Why? I don't know. I do a lot of things that don't necessarily make sense to me at the time, but I feel like I should put it in as a landmark at least. And that'll really help me later on. Alright. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to take a bit of a break, grab a midnight snack. I may resume broadcasting a little bit later. For sure tomorrow, though. Get some more sculpting done and hopefully come out with a bit more of a plan on how I want to attack that pauldron and some of the other accessories. And I'll get those blocked out for sure tomorrow and then continue sculpting all the other beautiful, beautiful details. Until then, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'd love to talk to you guys more. So have a great time. Bye.